back to the OPL, guys, where we just saw Legacy take Game 1 versus the Direwolves in our OPL Legend match. However, we do have a contest on social media. We want to hear from you guys at home. Who you want to duo queue with? Tell us who and why in the word limit and tweet at @lol_Oceania. Use that hashtag IamOPL to get yourself a month's supply of Red Bull. After that performance, I'm going with your boy King. You know, I'll support that guy to the end of the earth. He went absolutely off tap. However, want to get back to the series at hand. Legacy take Game 1. Pressure on Direwolves now. You know, they're the OPL champions right now, the OPL Legends. But they've shown against the Chiefs that this is a team that can bounce back. And if ever there was a time to do it, it is right now.
Yeah, this is where the Direwolves are strong. They've managed to drop Game 1. This is all part of their plan. They come back, double the power because they're the Direwolves. It's just what they've shown us over and over again.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, I want to really explore this because if Direwolves are going to come back, you have to think that it might be through the greed of Legacy. We've talked about it time and time again. Willingness to take early fights and pick scaling champions at the same time might ultimately be Legacy's downfall.
Yeah, I do think the previous game, Legacy did get a bit greedy with the picks. They picked Gangplank and Graves at the same time. I think Direwolves made a very smart move by banning the Rek'Sai and then taking the Elise early. That made Legacy default to the Graves, which had no laning pressure early, which made Gangplank fall behind and have Direwolves early control of the game.
So do we think that maybe on the side of Direwolves it is up to Sybil to get themselves back into it, but is without Rek'Sai on the board, if Elise gets taken away, is there a jungler that Carbon can go to that is going to keep pace with that?
Of course there is. It's Carbon. He plays basically everything in the jungle. I mean, we've already spoken about things like the Zac. If you want heaps of CC, he could go back to his Lee Sin if he feels like some earlier pressure. I think that there are heaps of other options.
Yeah, because I really think that there was a point at this game where it was 3 turrets to 1 and a 2,000 gold lead. If you allow Direwolves to amount these, I guess, short-term leads, we've already said that we think that Legacy is a team that can get ahead and stay ahead, and Direwolves aren't as good from playing from behind. But if Legacy give up early leads like that, they're always going to leave the window open.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. And you may as well just say, well, we're going to execute a little bit earlier on this time and take the game to them. I don't know.
Yeah, it certainly could be the case. On the other side, however, I do want to once again revisit the Raze Kuden lane because they went with something super aggressive, Ryu. They went with the Lucian. They went with Braum in this matchup. Do you think that once again they're going to look to, I guess, try and take it to the Legacy bottom lane? That really does seem to be where a lot of the focus is now.
I'm interested to see where Legacy goes from this. I think they will adjust their picks. I don't think they would make the same mistake again. Maybe this is the game where they put all the focus on bot and King carries, like you said.
We keep wanting to see that, and they just haven't done it for us. So, you know, I'm not going to say it, but if you really want to make me happy, Legacy, that might be a way to do it. Looking across into the top lane as well, we put a lot of emphasis on Sharp and the shot calling he brings to the team, but a very good laning phase. Wasn't able to translate any of his pressure, however. Is this a Lulu top lane pick, or did Sharp misplay a certain point of this game where you thought he could have really taken over?
I think it was less the Lulu, but the Zed. I think he never committed to split. I mean, to his credit, he was team fighting mechanically, perfectly. He was juggling the fights, kiting perfectly, using his cooldowns. That's the only reason the game stalled out this long, is because he was able to do this team fighting Zed, which shouldn't really happen.
Yeah, it certainly did look like Fantix was well on top of his mechanics in that lane. And, you know, time and time again, it looks like Direwolves were going to be put away, but these team fights were just so close, Atlas, and back and forth. If one goes the opposite way, we have a completely different game on our hands.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm interested in here is the fact that they had a Zed, which, as Ryu mentioned, Fantix played it fantastically in the team fight, but he's known as a champion that is more likely to peak around the mid game. Once everyone has Zhonya's, QSS, all these sorts of items that can sort of help get you out of all of his problems, then Zed becomes less of an issue. But if Fantix is playing something late game scaling, if he hops on that Kassadin again and can solo carry like he did against the Chiefs, we may have a very different game on our hands.
Yeah, well, we certainly could. But either way, we're going to have a game on our hands. Both the teams are ready. Rusty and Pastry are ready. Let's get in game 2 of what should be an absolutely beautiful series.
I gotta be honest, after that game, I'm not sure I am ready, Spawn, but we do have game 2 regardless. As that game 1, we said it already, Rusty, what a way to start a best of 3.
Absolutely. To go to 50 minutes and not even have a result, so neck and neck, could have been a single team fight to dictate the outcome. Very good way to transition into game 2, and I do like what Atlas mentioned on the desk. I think the Zed was good, but picking it into a 480 carry comp where they can get a Sterix Gauge and a QSS naturally with their item kits make it efficient. The only AP was a Lissandra. maybe a Diana, maybe a Cassidy,
Yeah.
something that's got a late game or can split push.
Yeah, and I think if one way or the other, either go later or go earlier. The Dials had pressure points there and couldn't quite capitalize. But Legacy's experience does prevail, and the scaling proves true for them. We are going to swap sides, though, and we'll see what happens here in this draft as Twisted Fate and Rek'Sai once again will be banned away.
Yeah, one thing you have to keep in mind, Legacy being first pick this time only get the one option to them, and Alistar is a champion that I think needs to be addressed. Both teams should look at Kalista naturally, but leaving the Alistar available just gave Legacy this added bonus to their team fighting of an unkillable tank.
Yeah, we're doing a great job there on the champion as Quinn is actually banned away by Legacy. Graves will follow for Direwolves, so 2 junglers this time for Direwolves.
Yeah, they take away a lot from Carbon this time around, and there's a lot of questions you have to raise with Rek'Sai and Graves gone. Do they first pick Elise Legacy, or do they risk leaving strong champions available for Direwolves to pick up by doing that?
Well, yeah, I guess that depends on the rest of the bans, as there's Corki. Definitely a strong champion, worthy of a ban, but Lulu, Gangplank, Rise all spring to mind pretty quickly there for the Dials. They left GP open. They wanted Lulu when they had the option. So I have to think they'll probably ban Rise, leave the other 2 open.
They also leave open Kalista.
They do. They actually ban the Lulu.
Yeah.
And there's Kalista. Wow. Legacy goes straight for the Kalista there. So Dials have the choice of power picks, but Kalista is just such a strong champion.
So going Kalista almost forces Dials now in response to take the Alistar. Potentially deny a really strong just engage combo, give it to Direwolves. And of course there is another champion available given all these target bans such as the Gangplank, the Rise as well.
Yep, so Gangplank is taken by Direwolves. I'm going to take that away from Tally. And they do take the Alistar, which is smart, denying the Alistar-Kalista combo. Curious drafting so far, but Legacy now, the option to maybe take a few more picks away. At least Poppy are very strong.
Yeah, Poppy's like the poor man's Alistar essentially, right? You can still engage, you've got knockups that effectively are knockups, right?
Yep.
You've got a lot of crowd control and you're a tank. So Regret is going to be able to fill a similar role to that of the Alistar from Game 1 and what Kuden's going to be doing in this game. And just drafting-wise, Legacy being able to get the Elise when having 2 jungle target bans against them almost says either one of 2 things. That Legacy drafted their first rotation so well that it forced Direwolves to get the Gangplank Alistar, giving them the strong jungle pick, or Sybil wants to default to Zac.
Yeah, which maybe is a thing. He definitely lacks a champion, but we'll see where the Dials go with their next few picks here. Draven is being hovered. I don't think Razor's going to play that one, although I did admire his carry play from the last game.
He played very well. Mechanically sound player, just couldn't get it done in the end, and this is something that you would preference on Raze a lot more.
Yeah, big Ezreal player. King took it away from him in the last game. He couldn't quite get it done with the Lucian. Sybil is going to go back to the Zac, and Raze goes back to Ezreal. It is comfort here for the Direwolves.
Absolutely is, and I mean, with 1 pick remaining, and it being a flex pick, Legacy kind of have to blindly go in at least one of these lanes, potentially even both of them. Not knowing what Tally wants to play. Lissandra is still available, and it's always a safe choice. Not knowing whether it's Fantix playing the GP or Sharp, but one thing we have recognized is that Fantix is the GP player of the team.
Yep.
Whether Sharp can play it or not, Fantix is the best GP player of the team. Most likely going to him.
I have to think so, and if Legacy have that info, they've likely at least played against it somewhere along the line, then they'll have a little bit more knowledge coming in. But Rise is also up, I have to remind you.
Yep.
And that's a big champion for Sharp as well. Rise Gangplank sounds like terrifying solo laners. So Legacy might want to take one away, or at least have plans if that's what they expect from the lanes.
Well, that's definitely a hover of a plan.
There's Lissandra. Are they going to go back to Fiora as well? Choose is going to take Lissandra once again, and there is the Fiora.
Yeah.
I really wonder if... No, not that cool.
Don't be silly, mate. Of course, the Fiora picked very strong into Gangplank. The Quinn's the other option, but of course they've banned it away. So default to the Fiora. Use your riposte on any of the kegs if you would like. Which means that Lissandra is going to be mid lane, assumedly into the Gangplank, giving Sharp his counter pick option.
Well, I can't imagine that's too bad news for Fantix in mid. He wants to farm anyway, so I'm sure that's fine. It's really just a matter of what Sharp plays. Does he go carry? Does he play utility champions? Probably not playing Mordekaiser. But lots of options here. Give Dials 20 seconds. They're taking their time on this pick.
Yeah, well, it's a big choice to be made here. They still may be deciding between the roles that they're designating.
True.
Where does the GP go? They know what Legacy have to offer. There's pretty strong team fighting. They've got split push options this time around. Their 2v2 in the bottom lane is ridiculous. Direwolves need to match it in some way.
Well, it is Malphite, not Mordekaiser, that is going to get selected. So Sharp will take the tank into the top lane. Kind of counterpicking himself there.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, going into the Fiora, you're more inclined to build health. You can't just go for a straight offensive build, but a Sunfire Cape is a pretty staple item, you would have to say, for Sharp on this Malphite. Still gets effective health through itemization and should be fine. It's just that really risky part where Tally split pushing can start to outplay you.
Yeah, especially if Carbon comes in with some of that jungle pressure. So I think the Dials recognized no more split pushing. Just go for team fights.
Well,
Give Fantix the gangplank. Make him go off. Give Raze a strong comfort pick.
Yeah.
Give Sharp a tank. Don't give him a control mage. And just play more aggressively in that mid game. We talk about 25-minute Direwolves. This is a pretty good 25-minute team comp.
Absolutely. They've got so much engaged between a Zac and a Malphite, one from even longer range than the other, and can follow it up perfectly. Of course, there's a bit of disarray caused by a Zac Let's Bounce, so there's a chance that Malphite's ultimate misses. That's just going to keep that in the back of your mind. There's a chance that it happens, but yeah, look, Direwolves, they've reverted to comfort. They've reverted to really strong team fighting, and as you said, they want to hit that point of power where, as a team, they know they want to start team fighting and just do it.
Yeah, and on the other side, we've seen Tally do wonderful things on Fiora, and a lot of pressure is on him. Chooch is back on Lissandra. They've got a strong team comp, but he needs to make something happen with the Fiora. It's probably the split push. We'll see what happens, but you can see our lineups here for this next game. Don't forget to use those hashtags LGC or DWN. A massive best of 3 here. Legacy are 1-0 up. We'll see if they can keep moving on. And don't forget to use that hashtag IamOPL. And we have a contest as well. If you want a free month of Red Bull, go ahead and tell us which pro you would like to duel with.
It's a lot of Red Bull.
It is a lot of Red Bull.
Definitely advise entering that
If
contest.
you like Red Bull, it's a good time. As Mr. Al is going to start us off here for our second match of Legacy versus Dials. He's looking very cute. And that's about the only cute thing on the riff right now. Definitely don't look to the bottom lane for that Poppy. Not a cute time.
Is this one of those moments where you have to give the advantage to Legacy because we're in Oceania and we have a spider? Means he's more dangerous, right?
Well, certainly watching his play, I would agree. As we do have a tweet from Soul Strikes, actually. Former Direwolves jungler, of course. As an ex-Direwolfian, I know Direwolves get stronger with each loss. Have to agree. They took the OPL Legends title from Chiefs after dropping a game. They will have to rattle it back 2-0 if they want to keep their title. But we know Carbon and Co. are after that belt.
Absolutely. Legacy are level-headed, but Direwolves also bounced back quite nicely after defeats. Sybil actually displaying that with his champion pick. And honestly, Direwolves, yeah, they're like the head of the Hydra, you know? You can cut it off, but 2 grow in its place. They just feel to get stronger with every single loss. That's why they're so good in best of series.
Yep, and I feel like although Raze had a good game 1, the power has been shifted from top to mid in a lot of ways here. Regret, he's going to meet up here with Kuden. Good pulverize zone. That's great damage.
Yeah.
King and Regret, a little too aggressive. Don't know where they're going.
No, so why are you going to the Dragon Pit, man? King and Regret, they're going to stop the Gromp, though, you would have to say, from going down. And it's going to happen again.
They might just pay the price for it, though. Oh,
whoa.
pulverize. A little short there for Kuden. Raze, though, getting good damage in. Just literally zoning them off the wave right now.
Zoning them off the wave. Denying the Gromp is a small victory here for Legacy, but wow.
This is cute, but good ward there from Legacy.
Still zoned.
Yeah.
Dials are going to stay here.
Yeah, why not? The creeps are dying. Might as well wait off. Now have to move back because they do want to collect their last hits. And Legacy actually will make it in time.
They do miss 2, though.
Yep. I think they got XP for one of them. They did lose 2 actual creeps, though. So Ray's going to start up here. And that's actually a nice little lead.
Absolutely. That's a level 2 advantage to be established by Direwolves already. And you have to keep in mind, to be able to zone a duo lane away from the first wave's minions dying is a very difficult thing to do, given the way the minions interact on wave number 1.
Yep.
No ganging up.
Certainly not this time. Sybil, nice and low in the jungle, but should be just fine. In case anything goes wrong, I suppose he has the passive. But Choo Choo's playing up, looking for that Q. Does land it in onto Fantix.
I can't believe they gave him Lissandra again. Choo Choo's almost single-handedly won them that first game with his team fighting engages. Interesting thing to me, though, Peishu Time, is they've given him the Lissandra, but they've also said, we'll just build tanks, really. Like, kill us now.
Yep.
It's impossible.
Well, Carbon, didn't quite spot him, I don't think. Well, there's a blue ping there. Carbon instead actually going topside, wants to gank Sharp. And Sharp, only level 2. Going to be pretty vulnerable here. Good vital proc there. Tally going to keep getting his hits in. There's another one behind it. Sharp has to flash. Good cocoon though from Carbon. barely gets him out of the minion wave. They may look to dive. Riposta's in there. Carbon will move in for it, and first blood goes to the Elise.
They pick up first blood. Sybil's here.
He is there, but I don't know if he can fight Carbon 1v1. He's going to make a go of it. Tally's going to move up here as well. Sybil is going to have to flash out of the way. Just too aggressive here from the jungler. Carbon almost going to go down, but Tally going to turn him into bloblets. Carbon smites one of them.
Oh, no!
He's getting used. One of them's cancelled. Sharp completes the other one.
Oh, that was glorious. Both members teleporting to ensure he stays alive. Sybil does get out, thank you to his team, and should not die to the double golem.
No, he's going to take them. Gets close. He'll be okay.
That's also no teleport for Fantix, and he's having a bad time in this lane. The coordination from Direwolves you'll have to question. They're both teleporting to keep him alive. I'm not sure if that was intentional, going on individual bloblets to give him enough health for Krugs. But you know what? You take what you can.
Well, Carbon is going to take the red. Oh, no, maybe not. Sybil over the top. Does have his smite, but wants to go in for Carbon. Does smite the red away, though. Fantix actually back, so Carbon's safe there. Smart move from Carbon, but doesn't quite get the buff he wanted.
That was brilliant from Sybil. No one would expect the Zac to still be there. Absolutely no reason to still be there. But he is.
And now Raze could be in trouble. Kuden moves in for the combo, does land it in onto Regret. But just some trade damage back and forth. Ren there gets a bit of extra damage down as well. Right now you can see Razor's hitting just fine as we have Spooks. Once again, the OPL pros weighing in the token OC head ram comp from Direwolves.
That's absolutely what it is. They've got some giant heads to ram right now, having a Malphite Alistar Zac. It's just the unkillable teamfight comp. You win it around 25 minutes, you just run at them.
They've got insurance policy Fantix there as well as Sybil makes his way to the bottom side. Kuden going to flash in for the pulverize. Looks for Regret. Doesn't land in though. They have to chase in for it. Regret is going to deny that E from Sybil. So no success, just a couple of summoners there.
That was entirely the flash from Regret. That was phenomenal work from him. Kuden delayed the W, I will say, as long as possible. Gave him an opening to flash out. That's exactly what happened. They defused what could have been a dire situation.
Well, instead, as Chuchi's going to get aggressive on the Fantix, pops that W. Fantix hits the oranges and gets out. But you can see he's trying to trade back, but he's so far behind in CS in this game. 20 down already to this Lissandra.
Yeah, absolutely struggling. Gangplank's never picked for his laning phase, whereas Lissandra, having that passive, free spells used, can be entirely for harass. And now that level 6 procs, it doesn't make life any easier for Fantix. Only for choose.
Yep, you can see he's just got the Sapphire Crystal and the Corrupting Potion to try and keep up in gold by parlaying what minions he can, but it's a tough time here for Fantix early on. We know he's a good laner, but this is a tough lane to try and navigate. So if he can get the farm, see what he can do in the team fights.
Well, that's all he's aiming towards, of course. The Gangplank ultimate, very much an underestimated spell. Does an abundance of damage, or at least controls zones in fights, and that's the one thing Direwolves have got going for them indefinitely, is between their team composition, controlling set zones in team fights. Sharp never has to use his ult. He can just walk at them, whereas Sybil can use the Elastic Slingshot and zone them away. If they ever use the spell to dodge the Slingshot, then Malphite can ult them.
Well, multi-burnt in the mid lane for Fantix, but to clear out creeps here. Nice little keg, so he didn't get the back minions, but he's going to go back. Just has to recall. Try and make something of this as we have Destiny weighing in this time. I'm the Choo-Choo's Lissandra train, 2-0 LGC. Got your hashtag LGC win, mate, but
He
chooses
chooses him.
Well, after the last Lissandra game, I don't think I can blame Destiny.
Absolutely. There is, again, I mentioned this in the drafting phase, there's no reason to give him Lissandra based off that Game 1 performance. Legacy even have shown they can flex it. Big risk from Direwolves, but they have, again, they've picked their team composition to combat it, at least.
Definitely just doing some scaling here. Sharp not having the best time in lane, but he's alive, which was potentially a worry earlier on when Carbon came. He's still here though, but Sharp playing nice and smart. Cocoon goes wide. Just a bit of tower pressure here from Legacy as Carbon's going to go back to his jungle.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sold on the strategy there from Carbon. Should have just recalled in the bush, I guess, but wanted to stay around, get some extra farm. Didn't really have a solid reason to go back. They don't get anything from it, but it's also because Tally was airing towards the side of the bush where Carbon was, so there was never a chance that Sharp was going to go near it.
Yep, just not a good time. Sharp still climbing up. Like we said, the solo lane is for Dials behind in CS this time. Fantix actually pretty far down, but catching up relatively well. It does have a Sheen now, but Choo-Choo's with almost a Catalyst completed and a blasting one. It's now with blue buff. Going to start making Fantasy's life a little bit more miserable. Raze, though, keeping up nicely in the bottom side, even versus the Kalista right now. But it's just farming across the board here. Direwolves playing it much more patiently this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are looking to hit their one big item spikes as well. Not just the Cinderhulk for Sybil, but the first makings of a resistance, whether it be the Spectre's Cowl or some form of armor. Of course, you would wager Spectre's Cowl. Is then a really big sign that they can start team fighting. Even the Glacial Shroud for Malphite works towards strengths as a team. Not just the level 6. Do you look at the Direwolves composition and say they're strong? They do need some kind of resistances.
Yeah, they'll need a bit of time. And Legacy might be able to put the pressure on earlier. 4 teleports in this game as well, so to look for quick map movement. King and Regret still busy taking these out. Looks like both bottom lanes do want to recall. Ezreal going to get the first one in. A little late on that tier, but should be okay to stack it up.
Yeah.
I think he has enough for tier and Sheen.
Tier Sheen, yeah.
Sybil, into the mid lane. Choo-Choo's though just going to back off and just kind of reminding Choo-Choo's that he's in the game.
Yep. Level 7 Zach can jump from some pretty outrageous locations, especially given how far that elastic slingshot was. Level 9 as well is like 3,000 range roughly. It's something absolutely ridiculous. And this is the big strength that you're looking at for Dials right now. They're engaged tools.
Ooh, very nice from Choo-Choo's. Very nice again from Choo-Choo's. Denying the poor barrels. Fanatics are trying to pull the wave, get as much money as he can. Kuden's actually roamed up here.
What are you doing, Kuden?
Trying to clear a pink ward, but not much success there on that one. Melee champions versus Lysandra always feels kind of bad, man.
Oh, wow.
Going for top. Looks enough to Tally. Actually goes past him. Now Sharp pops the ulti. GPL down as well. Sybil pops the let's bounce. Tally out of riposte. Sharp going to flash in for it. Sybil follow flashes, and he will collect the first kill. Choo-Choo's is here though. Sybil is around. Does get the ulti popped out, but Sharp is out of mana. Fantics cannot come out of that mid lane. So Sybil will die this time. Oh no, Fantics. He will TP in. Now going to try and turn it around. Sybil though comes back to life and instantly dies. Fantics has to get out. He's already taken too much damage, and Sharp is going to get left hung out to dry.
That is the funniest thing ever. They teleport the first time to save him. This time, Fantix has no health to actually get back into the fight and pays for it. And these two, I'm not surprised that they're going at it right now.
Surprised it took this long.
Yeah, exactly. But Legacy is still coming out ahead from this.
Yeah, really nice movement there from Legacy. Good attempt from Direwolves, and I loved the tower dive there. Ray's now going to find Regret, but not quite enough. Nice Q. Just a bit of poke damage down to the Poppy.
And that's exactly the composition that Direwolves will be utilizing. The Zac uses the slingshot. If you force the riposte, you force any kind of defensive spells, whether it's a flash from King even, then the Malphite can go in for free. There is this free tool to engage. The same thing with Alistar. You've got this extra option to go in just because Zac is there.
See Fantix barreling up whatever he can. Gonna get some bonus gold. Gets low there, will Carbon, but takes the Rift Herald buff. You can see Legacy up about 1,500 gold. Closer to 1,000. Some of the gold ticks back over. And again, just sort of letting things scale up. Nice play on the top lane from Dials. Answered nicely by Legacy. Does leave us at once again a very close game 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
But I doubt we'll see nearly as much scaling as the last game. Teams are going to start to get aggressive here, and they both have good tools to do so.
Never know. Direwolves have got this never say die attitude, so if they fall any further behind, who knows when the game will start to really explode out. We've explained their points of power, of course, Direwolves. Mid-game, they really want to look to spike, but the dangerous thing about that is King will be spiking with 2 items, whereas Raze is a little bit longer.
Sybil and Carbon at it again. Going to dance their way out. Regret looking for Raze. Does get him into the wall. Damages that. King takes him out. And the Legacy bottom lane able to force the kill. In fact, Sybil's maybe in trouble now as well. Bates call used. They want to go in for it. Sybil no passive. Does pop the ulti. GP ulti there, but it's not quite enough damage. That's the second kill. And Kuden maybe going to make it a 30. Does have his ulti. He'll pop it. Choo-Choo's here though. He's going to lock him up. Kuden moves in and needs to wait for the ulti to wear off. He gets locked up by the snare. Still the ulti as it finally wears off. And they are going to keep chasing and they will get it.
They got Carbon too, but they do get the kill in the end. The Alistar goes down. And Legacy, they are turning on the heat. They're making sure that their advantage is pushed as far in their favor as possible. And this is the proactive Legacy that you don't want to be up against. If you give them a lead early, they can run away with it.
Yeah, and choose again. Great movement there with the ultimate. Dials playing reactive. Never what we want to see from them. Choose here as well. Nice little barrel there from Fantix, but Choose just takes it on the chin. Just a little
I mean, instantly Raze dies. That was just so simple from Regret to execute on. Knocks him against the wall. Carbon comes in, and Lissandra's already rotating down. There's no way for Fantix to get there besides the ultimate. He was in base and does not have the teleport. Accidentally just used that one earlier. That's a nice rock. We're going to watch them slowly dive Alice. In fact, the rock is probably more interesting than diving an Alistar with his ult on Carbon. Dies.
But good play nonetheless from Legacy. Starting to continue to be active. Raze looking to die again. King takes him out, and now the bottom lane starting to really go at it. Regret, great W there, but Sharp's here as well. Waiting for it to wear off. Tally down here also. King actually going in onto Sybil. Fantix finally rotates down. King gets the first kill, but they need to lock down this Kalista. King though just going off. He's 1v3 right now, but Sharp lining up the ulti. Will pop it, cakes it down. Fantix going to collect it and the shutdown.
It is so difficult to kill this Kalista at the moment. They have to bide their time and let him take someone out from the zoning of Legacy before they can even look to kill King. And this is at 14 minutes in the game. Kalista should not be left available at the moment. She is absolutely first pickable, and you should not be giving it.
And this is the worry about Dials, is they play so well when ahead, and classically they've played decently from behind, but it feels like right now they're still learning how that all works as a team with all their changes. And right now behind a significant chunk of gold, 15 minutes in, 3k down. Legacy just outplaying them around the map. In fact, Fantix, Sybil goes in. Uh-oh, Cocoon immediately. Cocoon in here as well, locked up by the ultimate. Game playing ulti's there. This might be an overstay actually for Legacy. Sybil is going to flash out of the way, but Carbon's going to follow him. He's going to get the kill, but they want Choose. That's the target. Kuden, though, a little too low. Forced to pop the ulti. Good snare there from Choose. He flashes out of the way.
Malphite's here.
Sharpie going to try and collect a bit. King's here as well. Choose is low. Fantix will take him out. And King can't quite get there on the Ren.
No, King not able to come in time. Choose does go down after using the flash to get out. Takes a lot of effort to kill a Zac. Sybil's not going to go down without a fight. And Alistar conveniently placed with Fantix to secure a kill. They get one back on the board for the Direwolves and a double buff for Fantix. A step in the right direction, if not a small one.
Oh yeah, Fantix got the last shutdown and that last kill as well. So all of a sudden,
that could be the Trinity Force
only
at
10
least.
CS behind. I think it might be a Trinity Force with a bit extra. The Legacy is not done. They're going to go topside now. Kuden trying to save him. King getting so aggressive once more.
Yeah, that was a BF sword with the Trinity Force. Fantix is online. Fantix is a very big gangplank. And if anything, that means their one carry is monstrously large. Raze is always going to be a facilitator on this Ezreal. He does damage, but he's gone immediately for the Frozen Fist. So more about utility, and as is the entirety of the Direwolf side.
Yeah, jungle battle once again. Carbon chunking Sybil down to about 60% health. And looks like red buff is not up. Carbon going to try and lay a trap here. Sybil bludges the slingshot, gets the spiderlings, takes him out. Fantix busy with the raptor though. The Sybil smites it away from him.
Yeah, vision control is most important. The Raptors, the big Raptor, I guess, is the one that you shouldn't be taking away from junglers because the smite is invaluable in competitive play. Interesting stuff here though, Legacy. They've decided to readjust their strategy. They've put their bottom lane top. They know that King is just monstrously ahead. And hello, Raze.
Yeah, Raze got out. Tally. Oh my god.
That's not going to be the last time we see that, you would have to wager. There is no way for Raze to afford any magic resistance this early in the game. And that is already a huge Lissandra. Raze needs to show respect now to the map.
Those 3 deaths mean that he's actually a little bit behind on items despite good CSing. And King with those 4 kills is nice and accelerated. Manamune QSS would normally be the way you want to go, but Raze just doesn't have money for the Manamune part yet. As Tally takes the bottom outer.
Yeah, well. King's showing his bites as big as his bark as well. And this AD carry off. At least the bot lane off.
Bot lane looking good so far. Choo Choo's going to clear out that pink. Fantix still scaling. Kind of unlike the last game, I guess. Fantix will take a little longer to be relevant. He does have good items now, but it only gets better for him. I felt like in the last game, Zed sort of hit a cap.
Yeah, absolutely did.
But it does mean that Fantix is going to have to play from behind for a little while longer. And Legacy with a lead very rarely let go of it. We say the same thing about the Direwolves, but unfortunately only one team can be ahead. And 18 minutes in, it is LGC with that 5K gold lead.
Because Legacy have shown that they can play from behind also. Whereas Direwolves generally quite untested at winning from behind. Shown they can at least play from it and be very resilient in the way that they play. But the big learning phase for all of us watching Direwolves play this game right now. The lead's not a big enough deal to say it's game-changing. And with the team comp that Direwolves have, they should be able to work their way back into this with a solid team fight. But it's only getting harder from here. Yeah,
and we've seen Legacy's team fighting still on point. Played together so well as a team despite quite a few new changes. Now assaulting this bottom tier 2. Once again, it's Legacy's macro play that seems to be getting the better of Direwolves. King is just unrelenting here. DP uses that ulti, but that's not going to save the tower. Rift Tower buff used nicely there. And 3 towers now for Legacy. Direwolves still with 0. And they're running out of safe spaces to farm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just control from Legacy on the entirety of this map. Vision control, execution of sieges, execution of skirmishes as well. Feels like a very clean-cut and crisp game off the back of their Game 1 victory. And it's mostly Carbon once again.
Yep, you can see Sharp and Sybil actually, the Bash brothers, looking maybe to gank Tally here in top lane. Sybil's going to walk past the ward. Sharp walks the short way. And Tally already backed away. Kuden's here as well. That's a lot of people to try and take out a turret. And Legacy should have time to respond here. Carbon going to make his way up towards that side of the map.
It's a good rotation to work towards this turret. They will have a lot of time and should be able to get this one down, I would assume.
Well, Legacy, sorry, going to fight them off. I think Chu's poured it in. There he is. Looking for Sharp, perhaps. Does go in, locks him down. Sharp's taking a big amount of damage. There's the ult down. Sharp, ulti's out of the way, but I'm not sure he's safe there. Bandix is here. Gets the barrel down. Huge amount of damage in there. Regret low. As Chuchus gets chunked there as well. Kuda going to try and make a play as Carbon. Here's the first target here. Tally going to dive back in. He does challenge Bandix. Sybil, though, looking for that re-engage. Tally doing so much work, but Sybil does dive back over to zone them away. And now Sharp's back. He doesn't have an ulti, though. Raze flashes forward. Needs one more Q. Lands it, but it's not quite enough. Goes in for it. Tally blocks the Qs to protect his support. And no, only Carbon dies as King here for the cleanup. He's spotted, though.
Easier said than done. The tower still stands, though. King could brute force his way into this.
Imagine if he had a Runins, but he doesn't quite now. Bandix, though, getting low. Will get shut down as Chuchu's going to try and make the difference. Chuchu's popping the Zonyas. Zach will just dissipate into Boblets as Raze gets taken up by Lysandra. The fight's still going. King pops his ulti. They go into Kuden on the backside and Sharp on the front. King rampaging through. There's the double for Kalista. He's going to chase down his final kill. Can he make it the triple? Sharp has very few spots left to run. Q lands in, Ren there for the slow. Tally's here as well. And whose is it going to be? It's going to be Tally's. There's the ace from Legacy.
And King showing off his mechanics yet again. The AD carry for Legacy steps up, but so does the entirety of Legacy. That was the one moment where Direwolves had hope. A massive gangplank cake to kick it all off. But Sharp had to use his ultimate defensively, and that was the difference between winning and losing that fight.
Well, GPLT not enough to steal Baron. Everyone from Legacy gets the buff, and all of a sudden they're almost up 10,000 gold in this game. And Legacy have really picked up the pace. I feel like they've cleaned up some of the earlier, the stuff from game 1. Definitely playing much more decisively in this particular game. And all it really needed was Fantix to give him a bit more of a window, just based on the champion he wanted.
I mean, I feel like the answer is simple, though. They targeted the jungle with their bans. Carbon still got a jungler he's quite comfortable on. But they gave over Kalista by targeting Carbon with those bans. And Kalista is just overwhelming.
Yeah, King's Kalista especially. Does have the Runins now. Actually went Spectre's Cowl.
Banshee's the counter to Malphite.
Doesn't need the QSS, so take the Banshees. Same theory, I guess.
Well, it's more of a direct counter to Malphite, though, because he can't outright engage. Nor can Zach.
Even Pokemon gets sad. He's like, oh, yeah, I gotta keep you first.
Can't cheesecake. But that's why Ezreal's there. So actually quite good at taking out Banshees at least.
Yep. Well, Legacy continue to grow their gold lead. Getting very close to 10k up. As Kuden caught out. Does eat a cocoon. Carbon going to chase in for a bit of damage. Just some poke.
Yeah, shows the major stylistic differences, though, between Sybil and Carbon. They both played a game of Elise right now. Sybil will hit the cocoon, poke in ranged form. Carbon just puts his face in it. Hits the cocoon, just changes to Spider, and just goes in to do as much damage as he can.
Tally now in the bottom lane. Starting to get that split push on as well. He's had the Hydra for a while. Now has Black Cleaver. So Sharp actually pretty low on items. Nice auto there from Carbon onto the keg. Feels like Dials have to play patiently, but playing a losing game almost at this point. They're going to have to wait quite a while or capitalize on Legacy's mistakes to stop what's happening in this game, because Sharp cannot stand here anymore. Tally is so strong.
I mean, with a team composition that wants to spike at mid-game, to be behind now.
Ooh, maybe a fight on though. Fate's Call used. Ray's already low. Legacy just going to go top lane. They take the tier 2, sorry. And Tally's still putting on pressure here in the bottom side. Sharp doesn't even have his TP, and he's busy. Vandix here with Carbon. Does actually auto the barrel. Takes out the turret. No, not quite yet. Vandix still in trouble. Going to get chased down. Chuju's looking for it. Smites down for the slow. Vandix can't get out of it. He does pop the origins, but he won't live long enough. Carbon able to take it out. Tally moves over for Sharp. It's just too easy for Legacy.
And now it's becoming that surgical cleanup duty. Carbon even with no health, flashing to the right position. Tally
goes aggressive, does get the tower. Now he doesn't have to be careful at all. Ray's here. That's maybe something he has to respect damage-wise. Carbon and Chu staying, even though they're low. Regrets here as well. There's nothing that Dials can do. They have 2 tanks and an Ezreal that's behind.
Yeah.
And King right there in the back pocket.
When tanks get behind, they generally stay behind. When your team consists of entirely tanks, getting back into a game against the Kalista, Fiora, Lissandra is a very tough thing to do. Direwolves drafting almost coming back to bite them because of this. And if Fantix isn't an assassin and Sharp's not dealing damage, then who is on this side?
Well, right now, not too many for Direwolves as Legacy collected Dragon on the way out of just ravaging through Legacy's base. Bottom inhib, open and exposed. Legacy, massive gold lead here in this game. And Tally can split push. Legacy can do whatever they want. They've got their teleports up. They've got all the gold they'd ever need. King is absolutely massive. And Dials just have to wait and hold on.
And with the bottom inhibitor down, if it even comes back to the second Baron, then Legacy will still find themselves in a commanding position. It's the inhibitor that is the worst towards getting to Baron. Forces teleports at the bare minimum. And speaking of...
Yep, Sybil actually killing a pink ward, gets denied. That was adorable.
Speedruns.
Speedruns out of the way. Sharp locked down though. Tally able to get it there. Choose pops the ulti. Tally doesn't even need his. Just too much damage already. That Malphite is real squishy.
And Sharp couldn't use his because it's not available. So 0-5-3, this Malphite with entirely tank items gets shredded like butter through a... Yeah, hot butter with a knife. I said that totally in order.
I got you.
Yeah, nice. But Legacy again, yeah, just so commanding.
And now King's even pushing by himself there in that mid lane. Legacy, no, they only have to break 2 more points. Baron not up. So why not split push? King feeling confident. Dodging out a Sybil there who was looking to get something started. And Legacy brute forcing this game. That tower's dead.
Absolutely. There could be all 3 inhibitors about to fall. Direwolf's desperate.
You're going to try something. Phoenix pops the ulti. Kuda goes in, but Tally with a very nice process. Regret dives in with the ultimate. Gets the knockdown. They're going to try and lock down this Alistar. And King is just on the front line firing away. Good re-engage there from Direwolf, but I don't think they've got enough damage here. King able to get the first kill. Takes out the Malphite. Regret takes out Kuden. And Ray's now going to get dived on. Tally able to switch things up as King is leaping forward into the enemy team. Fantix looks to be the next victim. Chuju's locks up Ray's on the other side as Tally wants to take him out. Ray's going to make the outplay, but Chuju's able to collect him on the end. And King's still alive. Legacy going to knock down these towers and claim the game. They sweep Direwolves to take the OPL Legend title.
Absolutely right. Legacy, they get themselves the title in convincing fashion. Got to pick up people to end the game because why not?
Yep.
Look, 2-0.
Dial's trying to fight, but Legacy is going to take out the Nexus. Sybil, the last blob standing, does not get it done. And it's so weird to me because every Legacy game I watch, they win game 1 and then they go crazy in game 2 and win, but they almost lose. They get a little too ahead of themselves. A very nail-biting game 1, and Legacy have a clean second game.
Absolutely. Legacy, they start game 2 ahead and they just continue that trend, pushing it upwards. And you just don't let them get ahead. Don't give them Kalista. Don't get Lissandra. What do you do?
I mean, you only have 3 bans, so can't really ban all that away. But Chuju's train certainly rolling as the Legacy hype's looking good. Let's get more info from the guys at the analyst desk.
Thank you so much, guys. That, in the end, was a 2-0 for Legacy. Close game one, much more one-sided game two. Let's have a look at why exactly that was the case. I know that, Ryu, you especially think that a lot of this occurred in a very greedy champion select out of Direwolves.
Wouldn't say it was greedy. It was just I don't think they had a clear game plan going into this game. They definitely needed more damage, and they definitely needed like more volatile lanes. I mean, there was no lanes to gank for Direwolves. They had like a Malphite into a Fiora, they had a Gangplank mid, and they had an Israel into like a Kalista lane.
Yeah, kind of what we explained with Infernum Game 1 versus the Chiefs. If you don't have anywhere for your jungler to go, it's just so easy for Carbon to invade time and time again into what is a weaker opponent this time in the Zac and dictate the pace of the game. Never really got to that point where Sybil was that wrecking ball and able to gank across the map. One player I do want to point out, however, on Direwolves' side that had a very good performance is their mid laner Fantix. We've been waiting for this guy to, I guess, arrive and live up to his superstar hype, Atlas. Seems like this series has proven once again that he is the guy to watch in the mid lane.
Yeah, but the issue with this game was the fact that the Direwolves also knew that their one superstar on this team, based on the fact that he was the only one that had any capacity of doing damage, was Fantix. They moved him around and delivered him as many kills as they possibly could, but it just wasn't enough because you look over on the side of Legacy and they've just got so many tools for dealing damage.
Yeah, they certainly do. And one other area, I guess we hit on it all night, is the bottom lane. We said, will Legacy allow themselves to play utility down there again, or will they go for a kill lane? Answer was kill lane. Were you happy with the boy King? Did he come through for you in the end?
Yeah, I know King was feeling really good when he got that solo kill down at bot. I could see his face, and I'm excited for what he's going to tweet.
Yeah, well, what he's going to tweet. Oh, God. Yeah, no, this actually allows like us to look at Legacy as a whole moving forward. Now they're the OPL legend, you know, they were able to take it off Direwolves exactly how they said it was going to be. But we've seen time again, they've got the Fiora in the top lane. They've got the Gangplank. Tally can carry. Carbon can carry. You look down the list. Choo Choo's had an amazing set. Now that they've said, you know what, we've got an aggressive bottom lane, let's use it, for Christ's sakes. Now King can carry. Like, how do you stop this juggernaut?
I'm not entirely sure. And King, I mean, I actually thought, based on his tweet that we saw earlier in game number one, saying that in no dimension can we lose, I'm starting to believe him based on his performance alone. I know it was a grueling game number one. He died once in that whole series and got upwards of 20 kills, something like that. Just utterly ridiculous. When King's on form, he's most definitely on form, but I think it's consistency that might be the problem for the guy, which is why he's not necessarily the one carrying every single time.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Ryu, when are you penciled in to play Legacy next? Have you got it marked in your calendar?
Don't know it.
You don't actually know? Wow, that is how confident the guy is. He's like, you know what, we just take it to week to week. We don't really mind. It's going to be what it is. It is, I think, around about Super Week that you guys play them. Yep. Like, I think a little bit after. However, guys, that is all we have in store for you tonight. We do actually end up with 2-2-0s. It was the Chiefs picking up one versus Infernum, as well as Legacy picking up the second one. So as we look ahead to tomorrow's matches, it is going to be Sin versus Trident in our last match. Of course, Hellion started us off the week with a win over Avant 2-1. However, guys, as I said, that is all we have for you tonight. You have a new OPL legend. Chiefs and Legacy both come through. Looks like order is kind of restored in the OPL. We'll find out if it stays that way tomorrow night at 7 p.m.